Hello everyone, this is Mike M from The Buttery Show here at the Pasadena Comic Con for 2025 at the Pasadena Convention Center. And I'm here with the legendary actress and stuntee, Sandy Gimpel. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you. How are you doing?
Are you enjoying the convention so far?
So far so good. It's lots of people here, that's for sure.
Wonderful. You know, I'm always happy to meet not only someone from a lot of my favorite franchises, but also someone who has a background in stunt performing, because I'm a man who loves the stunts, so it's amazing to be in the presence of someone as legendary as yourself. So my first question to you is, what got you into being a stunt actor in the first place?
Well, it wasn't planned, I'll tell you that. I was a dancer, and I got in the business as a dancer on a show called The Pleasure of His Company with Fred Astaire and Debbie Reynolds, and went on to do 15 movies with Elvis Presley. And then when we did Change of Habit, it was the last show that he did, and I didn't know what I was going to do, and I got a call for a show called Lost in Space. They were looking for a double for Bill Mumy, who was 11, and I went on the audition, got the job, and stunt coordinator said, if you come to the gym 3 days a week, we will teach you how to do stunts. And I went, sounds good to me. And I never looked back.
Wonderful. Now, you did have some performer credits, namely in the pilot episode of Star Trek, The Cage, and you had that whole Teloshan thing going on. You mind telling us about your experience filming for Star Trek's pilot?
Though that was funny because I was doing Lost in Space, and Star Trek had called over and said, we need somebody that we can put this makeup on that's not going to break out. And Paul Stater, our stunt coordinator, said, oh, well, I don't need Sandy. You can have her for a week, and she's fine. She can do this. We've used her before with all this makeup on. And so I went over and did the Teloshan, and 3.5 hours of makeup later, that's what I looked like. And with an air ball in my hand, that's me. And with an air ball in my hand, I could make the veins in my head move. So that was the first one I did. And then a year later, because the show didn't sell technically, and a year later, they were going to do the Man Trap. Yeah. And they called me and said, you've worked for us before, we want to put you in costume again. And I went back and played the Salt Vampire and got to attack Shatner.
Yeah, that was a really fun episode, and yeah, like I especially love the makeup that you used for the Salt Vampire. It's very similar to Ultra Q, which aired the very same year, in fact.
Yeah, it is. Well, that whole costume, including the head, they did a plaster cast of my head, and then they built the head and the costume, and then they sewed it all together. The problem with it was I couldn't see, because the nose came out so you couldn't see the floor, and the eyes were little slits, and so I couldn't see anything. And then the suckers were from my fingers out here. So when I went to attack Shatner, I kept hitting him in the head. And I hit him in the back of the head, and I hit him in the face, and finally I said to Gene Roddenberry, do me a favor and take off. We've got to unsew this thing. I've got to see where I am. And as a dancer, I knew how to back myself up and count steps and stuff. And so he agreed, and we took the whole thing apart and worked it out, did all the rehearsals, sewed me back together, and then it worked perfect.
Wonderful. Now, among the many shows you were in, one of my favorites recently had a film adaptation. Tell us about your experience doing The Fall Guy.
Oh, that was so much fun. I did probably 3 years of the TV series The Fall Guy. Mickey Gilbert was our stunt coordinator, who was an incredible stunt coordinator. And I got to do everything from, climbing up the side of the building to doing a double high fall backwards with hand in hand with him, jumping, being in the truck, doubling the girls when they jumped the truck. It was just like a family. It was a fun show.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Now, speaking of fun shows, you were recently in both The Rookie and 911. So I don't know how recent those episodes were. So are you able to talk about your performance in those?
They both have aired already.
Okay.
One aired about 3 weeks ago, and I think they both aired around 3 weeks ago. So, yeah, I can talk about it. As long as everything is aired, you can talk.
Yeah.
Up until that point, you can't.
Yeah. So tell us about your experience doing both shows in such a like short amount of time.
You know, the last 2 months, work was not really good before that. It was kind of on and off, and plus I get to play older ladies, and it's hard, to get a job really. But in the last couple of months, for some reason, I was getting one show after another, and I just kept working. And I've done a lot of 911s actually. I've done probably 5 or 6 of them, and
Nice.
they seem to like me over there. Thank God.
That's wonderful. Tell us about your book that you got displayed right over here.
My book, I love my book. I wrote my book myself. I didn't have anybody else write it for me. It's about my life and how I got started in the business, and back shots about what happened on the sets. And I was very careful not to intimidate anybody, but if you read the book and you know the shows, you kind of know what happened.
Yeah.
Oh, I know who he's talking about. But it's got all my pictures in it, and I'm actually very proud of it because it was hard to do. It was a hard thing to write, and I wrote it last year.
Wonderful. Now, are there any upcoming projects that you would like to promote that without, violating any NDA boundaries?
Yeah, there's a new show coming out called Ballerina
Ooh.
that I'm in. They used a clip from Airplane, the feature Airplane, where I did the Girl Scout fight. So they used a clip from that. So that you'll find that in the new movie Ballerina. Then it should be out pretty soon.
Yeah, I'm especially excited for the Ballerina because I'm a big Keanu fan. And with those last 4 movies that came out, it's cool to see that world expand. I think there was supposed to be a TV show at one point, but yeah, it's cool to see Ballerina, and I know that Baba Yaga will be making a comeback.
It's going to be great. It's got lots of stunts in it too, and I've seen some of the promo stuff that they've done on it, and it looks like it's going to be amazing.
Wonderful. Now, before we head out, is there any social media you would like to plug so the fans can follow you on?
I'm on Facebook and I'm on Instagram as Sandra Gimpel, and the other thing is you can go to my website, which is sandragimpel.com, and it's got a stunt video running on the top, and it's got all my pictures on there and shows that I'm coming up, that I'm going to be at for the conventions, and kind of got all the information on there.
Nice. Thank you so much. Thank you for having us. Thank you for being on our show. This is Mike M with Sandy, and we are very excited to have had this interview. This is Pasadena Comic Con. Pasadena Comic Con. There's so much stuff happening here in Pasadena, but we hope you guys enjoy and have a wonderful day. Have a good one.